This is Hall County Sports, brought to you by Green Ford on Browns Bridge Road in Gainesville. Check out the latest deals. Remember, when you go Green Ford. By Mountain View Auto Repair, a full-service shop for all of your automotive needs. Call Danny at Mountain View Auto Repair, 770-535-7278. And by McKelvey Road United Methodist Church. Visit us on McKelvey Road in Oakwood. With 3 worship services, Kids Town, and adult small groups, McKelvey Road United Methodist Church, dedicated to transforming the world through the good news of Jesus Christ. Hello again, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Hall County Sports Television. I'm your host, Gary Glenn. We're talking lots of hoops in this one. And you know, there was a song that Dolly Parton came out about prior to Christmas time several years ago about springtime feelings in the middle of December. Well, we got a springtime sport we're going to talk to you later in the show about here in the opening of wintertime. But first of all, we're going to talk hoops, and we're going to talk college basketball. First, the Lions Scots, who went to 8-4 with a win, and it's a team that's received votes in the latest NAI Top 25 poll, dominated the boards 49-27 to come away with a 66-52 victory over the Bernal Golden Tigers, who dropped to 8-2 with a loss at the Belhaven Classic. In addition to the rebound differential, the Tigers hurt themselves with a poor shooting day, hitting only 2 for 19 from behind the three-point arc and 1961 overall from the field. Sophomore captain Gabby Harvey out of Lilburn was the only player in double figures for Bernal, finishing with 12 points on 5 for 10 shooting. She also led the team with 6 steals. Now, prior to that game, Bernal had a 75-72 overtime win over Blue Mountain, Mississippi in that tournament at Belhaven. Freshman point guard Brittany Wiley scored a season-high 22 points, including a 5 for 10 effort from behind the arc, had 4 steals in the win. Sophomore Nikki Reed had her first start of the year, responded with 12 points and 9 rebounds with 3 assists and 3 steals. Okay, turning now to high school basketball. Despite the efforts of the Rushton sisters, the North Hall girls basketball team lost to Franklin County 58-46 last week in the Hooch Holiday Classic at Chattahoochee High. Mary Kate scored 17 points, and McKenna Rushton added 13 points and 9 rebounds. The North Hall boys dropped their second straight game, 74-71 to Class 5A Alpharetta at the Hooch Classic. Trojans then rebounded as Lance White scored a game-high 17 points, and North Hall took an 84-68 win over Loganville. Imani Cross and Candler Coker added 15 apiece. Ethan Smith chipped in with 11 for the Trojans, who ended their stay with a 72-65 loss to Chattahoochee. Chris Barnes with 17, Smith 14, and Cross 11. And then in the regular season game, North Hall and West Hall split. North Hall girls got a double-double from Sarah Pascal with 23 points and 10 rebounds as the Lady Trojans won 53-42. McKenna Rushton also pulled a DD with 13 points and 10 rebounds. Amber Johnson led West Hall with 16 points. West Hall boys got the split with a 73-67 win. Shunquest Stevens led the Spartans with 22, and Coker led the Trojans with 12. Chestatee girls rebounded from their Lanierland loss by smothering Alexander 45-13. Peyton Robertson led with 15 points and 4 rebounds. Peyton with 19 points and 5 more boards in a 64-39 loss to 5A's number 6 ranked Hillgrove at the Lake Allatoona Christmas Classic. Lady War Eagles then crushed South Atlanta 63-28. Robertson had 18 points and 5 rebounds, and Melissa Bailey with 8 points and 7 boards. At the JHS Holiday Shootout at Johnson High School was a big day for Johnson's Caitlin Sloan. She scored 21 points and grabbed 8 rebounds to lead the Lady Knights to a 43-19 win over Lakeview. Also at that tournament, the Johnson boys were hoping for a little revenge against Riverwood, the team that had knocked them out of the playoffs last year. Didn't happen. In the semifinals of the shootout, the Raiders grabbed control of the game in the second quarter, then hung on for a 60-50 win at the Johnson Gym. Ty Odom had a double-double with 11 points and 12 rebounds. Matt Hollis scored 11, while Cam Schofield had 10 points to go with his 8 rebounds for the Knights. And the Knights wound up third at that tournament with a 64-49 win over North Forsyth. Ty Odom with 18 points and pulled down 14 rebounds. Forsyth Central beat the Johnson girls 57-44 despite 15 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 steals from Caitlin Sloan. North Forsyth also beat the Lakeview girls 49-26. Not bad games from some of their big guns, but the Dorman boys from South Carolina still beat East Hall 80-61 in the Upward Classic in Spartanburg, South Carolina. J.C. Hampton knocked down 7 three-pointers and finished with a team-high 21 points for the Vikings. Keemon Woods scored 14 points, while Sterling Bailey had 9 points and 7 rebounds for East Hall. Vikings, by the way, were without Chaz Cheeks at that tournament. He was in Columbus for the GACA All-Star football game. I'll tell you more about that football game in a little bit. East Hall did bounce back in the next game with the defending AAA West Virginia State champion and top-ranked Logan team. Vikes put 6 guys in double digits, and they won it 78-64. Dre Perry and J.C. Hampton scored 15 apiece to lead the Vikings to the win. Keemon Woods, Brian Edwards, Sterling Bailey, and Chris Orr each came up with 10 points, with Bailey pulling down 18 rebounds. East Hall wound up losing the 5th-place game, though 67-64 in the closing seconds to Olympia out of North Carolina. Olympia scored 5 points in the last 20 seconds. J.C. Hampton with 22. He did make the all-tournament team. All right, time now to name our athletes of the week, and it comes from East Hall for the males for the second straight week. This time it's J.C. Hampton out of East Hall basketball all-tournament at that prestigious South Carolina event. And for our female athlete of the week, Caitlin Sloan out of Johnson basketball. She had a pretty good week. Well, you know what? We've talked some hoops, so we're going to be back with an official's point of view on basketball when Hall County Sports Television continues. In the red corner, the little guy holding prices down for all of Hall County, Dave's Goody Barn. And in the blue corner, the heavyweight full price leader eating your lunch daily, the Big Box Store.
Well, Mike, what do we know about the contender?
Dan, if you're tired of paying high prices, go on down and visit the good folks at Dave's Goody Barn. The buyers for the store travel the globe searching for the greatest deals so the savings can be passed along to you. They purchase from insurance companies due to fires, floods, and other natural disasters. Most of this merchandise is in near perfect condition. Now, back to the fight. Let's get ready to rumble!
Holy cow, Mike! Dave just KO'd the Big Box Store in the first round.
Well, like I said, Dan, if you're tired of paying high prices, hurry on down to Dave's Goody Barn or visit their website at davesgoodybarn.com, because what's there today may be gone tomorrow. Hey, it may be wintertime, but you still need to take care of the home place, and Precision Pressure Wash and Painting Services is just the company to do it. While pressure washing is their specialty, Precision Pressure Washing and Painting Services also offers many other great home improvement services that will benefit you. They live up to their name and complete each of these tasks with precision the first time around. These services include deck repairs, deck staining, water sealing, floor coatings with concrete staining and epoxy applications, gutter cleaning, window washing, siding repair, window replacement and removal, door repair, sheetrock installation and repair. In fact, no job is too small for them to handle. They've served the residents of Hall County and surrounding areas since 1992. That's Precision Pressure Washing and Painting Services. For questions, a free estimate, or to request a service, please phone 770-536-3824 or 678-316-4554.
Lancaster Music, Northeast Georgia's authorized dealer for Yamaha musical instruments, has a huge selection of consoles, studio, and grand pianos in all sizes and finishes. Check out the Yamaha Disclavier self-playing piano and award-winning Clavinova digital pianos that never need tuning. For gifts to delight any musician, Lancaster Music has keyboards, band and orchestra instruments, guitars, music books, and accessories. Lancaster Music, a musical tradition since 1949.
Hi folks, Butch Miller from Milton Martin Honda in Gainesville. You may be asking yourself, why drive to Gainesville to buy a new car? Well, the answer is obvious. First, we sell Hondas, one of the best cars in the world. Next, we're known for incredibly low prices, offering you more money for your trade-in and treating you the way you like to be treated. We're easy to get to from either Georgia 400 or I-985 on Brownsbridge Road in Gainesville. And remember folks, if you think you can get a better deal on a better car at Milton Martin Honda in Gainesville, you got that right.
My name is Lloyd Smith.
I'm Renee Barnett.
My name's Alan Cudd.
My name's Don Cooper.
My name is Mike Stewart, and I attend McKever Road United Methodist Church, the church on the hill here in Oakwood, Georgia. We'd love for you to come join us.
This message has been brought to you by the people of the McKever Road United Methodist Church. Gary Cole, pastor.
We are back. I'm Gary Glenn. Hall County Sports is the show. For this particular segment, we're going to bring to the show a little bit of a unique perspective. Not a coach, not an athlete, but someone who is intimately involved with the games that people play. And this is David Edmondson, who is a pastor, Covenant Connections Church. But David, we're not going to talk to you about that because I know you're deeply involved in that and your Christian ministry and so forth. But also, folks, David is a basketball official. And that's something that is a unique calling and something that is necessary. And I know it's something, David, that the officials associations all over this state and probably the country are always trying to find. I mean, they're recruiting people. We've had football officials on before, and they get on. They say, "Look, please call us if you're interested in doing this." So, number one, how did you get connected in being a basketball official, and how would you recommend other people get involved in this? Because you got to have them.
Absolutely, and we have. The funny thing is, our association, GMOA, Georgia Mountain Officials Association, we have been ranked as the top association in the state of Georgia for 8 years in a row.
Good.
And Doc Sisk, he handles all of our booking and our training and everything. So I'm very proud to be a part of Georgia Mountain Officials Association. Doc Sisk is an incredible mentor. I've been officiating. I just got my 15-year plaque this year, so I'm in my 16th year. So I started very young at the age of 21, and way back when the Chesley Watsons and Antoine Welchels and stuff and the Causey boys were around in Hall County, I kind of grew up with them. So, but if anybody out there is interested in officiating, you can get a hold of Georgia Mountain Officials Association, Doc Sisk, and we'd love to have you. We have some great training, and even if you've never officiated before, we'll train you and start you from the beginning and get you up to the top.
So what did you do in high school? What kind of athlete were you? What sports did you do?
I played baseball, and I actually wrestled in high school.
So how did you become a basketball official?
Well, I've always loved basketball. I just was kind of not tall enough, I guess you could say, and had a lot of aggression, and so I went to wrestling. I had to get that aggression out.
There you go.
But once I got out of high school, I immediately went into officiating basketball. And when I first started officiating basketball, just really went into doing NCAA and started going into the college type deal. And then I began to pastor a church, and I had a son the same year. So that took away all the, so I just really focused on high school, and I absolutely really enjoyed doing it.
David, one of the things, and it seems to be maybe part and parcel of some of the way that we have gone in our society, but the crowds seem to be louder, and you talked about being aggressive. They're more aggressive. They really get on the officials, and they holler at them, yell at them. Sometimes it gets a little obscene. So how do you handle that? Is it something, I guess you just can't take it personally. You have to realize maybe they're just cheering for their team, but sometimes you guys do get it right, too.
Well, you're always going to, pastoring and officiating, they go hand in hand.
Really?
You're always going to make, half of the people are going to think you're wrong and half of the people are going to think you're right. It's just according to which one gets the benefit of the call. But Glenn, the funny thing is, I've got the opportunity to call. I've called in 6 semifinal, state final weekends in my career. And that's, down in Macon and stuff like that. And you have a lot of great crowds and everything. But the funny thing is, here in Hall County especially, the fans, it's like almost every game is a state tournament game. When you have North Hall, East Hall, and East Hall, Gainesville, and West Hall and North Hall, it's great competition. A lot of fans. We love our basketball in Hall County.
And most of the fans appear to be pretty knowledgeable about it too.
Oh, they know more than the officials do. I mean, it's funny, but they're very knowledgeable. But then again, it's funny because you have rules, kind of like backcourt. Everybody thinks they know the rule of backcourt, and so if somebody's straddling the line and they bring their foot back across half court, everybody will start screaming, "Oh, that's backcourt," and you don't even know the rules. And the fact is, you have to have the ball and both feet across half court before you can have a backcourt violation. But things like that people think they know and they really don't know. And it's also I laugh at people a lot of times because they think that we do not necessarily see contact or whatever. And what we try to do is we try to allow the players to dictate the game. If there's a little bit of contact here and the player plays through it, well, we want them to be able to play through it. Nobody paid to see us officiate a ball game.
You don't want to be part of the action, really.
We don't want anybody to know we're in the building. If people know we're in the building, then we're probably not doing that good of a job. And so we try to let the players play through some of that contact and stuff. And here's another misconception, is that we think that we get it right every time. When we go into halftime or we go in between quarters and we talk, a lot of times we'll talk and we'll say, now what did you see on that play? And we realize, I probably missed that one. And a lot of times if you're out there and you see us officials talking to coaches and things like that, there are some times that we're saying to the coach, Coach, you're probably right on that one. I probably, I might have missed that one or
and when they say something to you, say you need to watch that, do you watch that?
Absolutely. One thing that separates good officials and great officials and not so good officials is actually not necessarily making calls, but it's game management. Handling the coaches, handling the players, and this and that. And that's what separates a great official. I'll give you for instance, one of your buddies, I know I've seen him on the show, Coach Joe Dix at East Hall. Mm-hmm. I was at East Hall a few years ago, and I just blew a call. I mean, I really anticipated a block charge, and it didn't happen the way I anticipated it, and I came out with a block, and it was a charge. It went against Coach Dix, and of course, he's pretty flamboyant, and he gets all excited, stomping his foot, and so I report the foul, and I could have stayed away from him, but I didn't. I walked down, and there was a timeout, and I said, Coach, I blew it. I blew the call. And I said, and you've got 20 seconds to let me know that I blew the call. And after that 20 seconds, we're done. But you got 20 seconds. And for 20 seconds, he let me have it pretty good. But after that 20 seconds, I said, all right, Coach, that's 20 seconds. He goes, I appreciate it. And do you know we went the rest of the game and had no problem. But if I would have avoided him and I would have got the big head and I don't miss anything, and you do have some officials that are kind of like that, I guess, that they never make a mistake or whatever. If I would have been like that, we would have had some issues. Somebody might have got a technical foul. It might not have been good. But for me to go over as an official to a coach and allow them to ask me questions, allow them to disagree with me and say, you know what, Coach, I see your point, that handles a lot of stuff. Now, I can't do that with every fan out there, but the fact is we understand that we miss calls. That's going to happen. Every basketball player doesn't make every shot. We're not going to make every call exactly right, but we train, we read the rules, we keep up to date on what we need to try to be the best officials that we can. And this area, I'm glad to say, again, has the top-ranked association in the state 8 years in a row.
All right. David, thanks for coming by.
Thank you.
Appreciate it very much. Keep up the good.
It.
I know it's a thankless job in some ways, and you don't do it for the money.
That's right.
All right. No. But we need you, so stay after it. All right.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, David Edmondson. We'll have more Hall County sports for you right after this.
Covenant Connections Church is a 21st century church committed to inspiring a positive change in your life and in your community by promoting a desire to please God and by ministering to the entire family. Experience interactive praise and worship along with relevant, inspiring, and challenging messages from the Word of God at Covenant Connections Church. There is a place for you. Mountain View Auto Repair is your local full-service auto repair shop. Trusted with your vehicles for over 20 years, our experience will ensure that your vehicle will stay well-maintained year-round.
Mountain View Auto Repair is the place to bring your vehicle. They'll always treat you right. The service is good and the prices are very reasonable.
You can trust our experts in everything from transmissions to brakes to engine repairs and oil changes.
My wife and I bring our cars to Mountain View Auto Repair because they're honest, they do good work, and their prices are reasonable.
So visit owner Danny Hammock and his staff of professionals at 3365 Mountain View Road in Gainesville, or give them a call at 770-535-7278. That's Mountain View Auto Repair for your complete auto service.
Oakwood Occasions is your one-stop spot for all things for events and hospitality. Whether your event is corporate or family, casual or elegant, sit-down dining or upscale vending, Oakwood Occasions has the answers and help you need. Oakwood Occasions has a full range of event planning, catering, and vending services, or will make the connections for the qualified vendors you need. They will work with your ideas, your vision, and your budget to make every event a success. Visit their website at www.oakwoodoccasions.com. Initial consultations are always free. Remember, everybody needs help on occasions.
Imagine 3 football fields of the most unbelievable pre-loved office furniture. That's what just arrived at School Tools and Office Pros. Team Office Pros is doing the touchdown dance while saving you money on chairs for executives, managers, students, and teachers starting at $19.99. Bookcases for lawyers, accountants, classrooms, and libraries starting at $24.99. File cabinets for medical, legal, professional, and personal starting at $49.99. Desks for college students, businesses, and home office starting at $99.99.
Unbelievable!
Hey, I'm Crazy Larry G. I'll sell you anything that walks, crawls, slides, or glides. Just remember, if you buy it anywhere else, we both lose money. Just give me this opportunity. I'll save you money on furniture in the state of Georgia, Waxahachie, Texas, or anybody else that runs these so-called sale prices. I will beat the price. Come see me, G's Home Furnishings, high on the hill, but got the lowest prices in the valley.
We're back. I'm Gary Glenn, and this is Hall County Sports. Well, it's usually a springtime sport, but back on December the 29th at Alberta Banks, they were raising a racket for tennis. Michael Dion from Gainesville won the Ultimate Tennis Division 3.0, beating Brandon Haley from Lawrenceville. Actually, this is a pretty amazing story. You know, Michael just started up tennis again about a year ago after about a 3-decade break. He also has had hip surgery, and he's beating players half his age. As for Brandon, well, he's made it to the Sweet 16 several times in his division, but never made it to the finals. And that final match went to 3 sets. Brandon winning the first set, and Michael winning the next 2 to take the men's 3.0 title. The 3.0 division had about 300-plus players, with 128 players making the playoffs. After the match, they both spoke with HCS TV's Jimmy Giles.
Today was a culmination of a comeback for me, and just having a good time getting back into tennis. Well, it's just been a miracle. Picked up the racket, quit judo and wrestling April because my hip got bad. Picked up the racket for the first time in 30 years. The last racket I played with was a T2000 and a wood racket. So I hadn't played tennis at all. Came back with some of my friends, Jimmy and the guys at Longwood Courts, and all the folks, and to be able to compete at all is just a miracle, having had the hip replacement in December. So the recovery for me is a blessed recovery. It's a tremendous event for me. I'm just overjoyed with being able to play and hit and run. I think being an older fella, it seems that as Brandon said, I tend to warm up in the second set and get things going and run a little bit better, and I think that was a good factor for me.
Obviously, my goal was to get as far as I can and win, but my main goal was to get to the Sweet 16 and I got farther than that, and I met a lot of competent players, and I always knew looking at the playoffs that Michael Dion was going to be one of my opponents in the finals if I make it, and guess what? We were, because he's a good player. So I tried as hard as I could to beat him, but he's a really good player. So overall, it was a good experience. I love Ultimate Tennis compared to all the other places. I found what my style of game was more, and then I just try to hone my skills and keep a positive attitude. And I think the positive attitude really carried me on throughout the whole tournament.
Not a bad haul for them. In addition to playing for the title, they got water bottles, T-shirts, and trophies, and Michael got a gift certificate for $250. I'm back to wrap it up when HCS TV concludes. If you are looking for a quality used car, then look no further than the Car Store on McKelvey Road between Gainesville and Beaufort. You won't find clunkers or junkers at the Car Store, just vehicles you'll be proud to own. At the Car Store, they can finance you on the spot, no matter what your credit is. They have a variety of plans. You can even phone your payments in. At the Car Store, they've been giving outstanding service to the community for over 20 years. At the Car Store, everybody rides.
Come on down to the Car Store. We can make you happy. My name's Bob Watson, and I guarantee it. There are hundreds of options when choosing apparel or promotional items at J. Geyer Advertising and the Trophy Case. We're all about quality and competitive pricing. Sports items are in stock. Look for special pricing on Letterman jackets, corporate apparel, corporate gifts, and custom embroidery. All local high schools should check out the line of spiritware and trophies. We're also offering custom screen printing available for any team sport. Be on the winning side when you choose J. Geyer Advertising and the Trophy Case, locally owned and operated at 250 Dawsonville Highway, Gainesville. Call 770-718-0062 or on the web at jgeyer.com and trophycaseltd.com.
There are moments in life that you wish would last forever. Dreams that really do come true. Treasures worth protecting. And a future to prepare for. Turner Wood & Smith is with you every step of the way. Established in the Gainesville area in 1905. Turner Wood & Smith has become Northeast Georgia's largest independent insurance agency by offering professional service at competitive prices. Turner Wood & Smith, insuring your future since 1905.
Covenant Connections Church is a 21st century church committed to inspiring a positive change in your life and in your community by promoting a desire to please God and by ministering to the entire family. Experience interactive praise and worship along with relevant, inspiring, and challenging messages from the Word of God at Covenant Connections Church. There is a place for you.
We're back. I'm Gary Glenn, and this is Hall County Sports. NFL playoffs going on, got all these bowl games, but let me tell you a little bit about some high school football. Yeah, at the GACA All-Star Football Game in Columbus, some of our local guys in 2010 with a win. Flowery Branch's Will Mundy, East Hall's Chaz Cheeks, and Gainesville's defensive tackle Thomas Niles were on the winning North squad, coached by Gainesville's Bruce Miller. Among his assistants, Gainesville defensive coordinator Jim Pavo and Chesterton head coach Stan Luttrell. Collins Hill quarterback Taylor Heineke, an Old Dominion commit, was named the North MVP. He passed for 254 yards and 3 touchdowns as he led the North squad to a 22-0 victory. The North had gone ahead 3-0 in the first quarter on a 32-yard field goal by Will Mundy. He also had an extra point. He had another PAT blocked and a high snap bobble on another field goal attempt, which saw a defender smack the holder. But again, local guys going out winners. In wrestling, we've got the area duels this weekend at 4A Clark Central, 3A Oconee County, AA Greater Atlanta Christian and Jefferson, and Single A Wesleyan for our area teams as they battle to see who can get to the state duels. Several weightlifters from the Team Georgia program qualified and competed at the American Open Olympic Weightlifting Championship recently in Cincinnati, Ohio. Now, this meet is the second biggest championship in the country and is used as a qualifier for several international championships. 238 athletes competed for medals, and the 5 local young women who competed for Team Georgia are all junior or school-age division competitors. All right, some other things to end up with. Lakeview Academy has got 1-mile 5K and 10K runs coming up this Saturday, January the 9th at 3 p.m. If you need more information, email john.simpson@lakeviewacademy.com or visit the website at www.lakeviewacademy.com/athletics to pre-register for the New Year's resolution races. Dragon Boat USA's coaching and training chairman Mike Blundetto will be at the Lake Lanier venue February 25th through 27th. You can contact Jim Odell at the LCKC if you're interested in this weekend of training. Brenau University freshman Lisa Portwood out of Marietta has been named Female Swimmer of the Week by the Appalachian Swimming Conference for the week on December 13th through 17th. Portwood competed at the SCAD Invitational, broke all personal best times. She competed in the Constellation and final heats in the evening, placing 6th in the 500 free, 9th in the 200 IM, 9th in the 400 IM, and 10th in the 200 free. She has yet to swim a meet where she does not shave time off an event. She is now qualified for 7 events at the NAIA National Championships. Sticking with Brenau swimming, Hannah Boudreau out of Lafayette, Louisiana, is now a transfer to the Golden Tigers from the NCAA Division II Delta State. Boudreau was an academic All-American for Division II in 2010, received the 2009-2010 Swimming Newcomer Award for Delta State. She was also Female Athlete of the Week once at Delta State. At the recent Rudolph Jr. Golf Classic at Chattahoochee, Gainesville's Grant Laster won the 14 to 15-year-old boys division, and Spencer Alston of Gainesville took first in the 12 to 13-year-old class. Meg Callahan of Gainesville was runner-up to Kate Cho of Cumming in the girls' 16 to 18 class, while Gainesville's Parks Brown was fourth on the boys' side in that age group, which was won by Ted Moon of Lilburn. And congrats to North Hall grad and cross-country runner Ty McCormick, who's now at Clemson. He wound up 15th in the ACC and region championships. That makes him first-team all-region and all-conference. Ty, by the way, hopes to compete in the World Championships in Spain in March, and we wish him well. That'll be all for our show this week. Join us next week right here for more Hall County Sports. I'm Gary Glenn.